The shooter, the ICE shooter, or as should be properly called, the ICE detainee shooter. Fox News doesn't want you to know this, doesn't want you to know the shooter shot 3 ICE detainees, injured no officers, you know. Exclusive, the ICE shooter's politics. Thank you, Ken Klippenstein, as always. Much appreciated. So here, of course, we have the PSYOP. You know, Kash Patel hurriedly calling somebody from the Dallas FBI office saying, can you plant some anti-ICE evidence there? The bullet engraving stuff seems to be big now. But engraving takes time and is difficult to do. So we have the Sharpie. And they didn't know what he meant by anti-ICE, so they ran with this. President Trump responded to the shooting by blaming the radical left, vowing to sign another executive order to dismantle what he called domestic terrorist networks. Again, he already signed the executive order for Antifa. I don't know what executive order you could possibly sign in addition to this. And a reminder to everyone, by the way, that he can't make anything illegal. He can't write laws. The executive orders only apply to the executive branch. They're directions to the administrative branch. J.D. Vance, meanwhile, says, we know that this person was politically motivated, pointing both to the inscriptions and some evidence we have that's not yet public. Ken reached out to people who knew the gunman, 29-year-old Joshua John. 3 who knew him since at least middle school agreed to speak to me on the condition that I not name them, corroborating their friendship with photos and other records. Their accounts paint the picture of somebody with a vaguely libertarian bent who despised both major parties and politicians generally, including Trump, but who didn't engage with politics beyond that. He preferred edgy humor, video games, the message board 4chan, all of which he became increasingly steeped in as he withdrew from social life as well as their friendships several years ago. Wow. What a shocker. What a surprise. How incredible. It turns out that once again, the shooter who then took his own life after doing the shooting was another edgy, nihilistic, like socially withdrawn edgelord with incoherent politics. And a white guy. I know, astonishing. None of his former friends believed the anti-ICE inscription could possibly be sincere. Feeling such a serious political statement was anathema to who John was. His humor was deeply ironic, often offensive and aggressive to the point of alienation. He was most certainly an edgelord, an irony guy, one friend said. Edgelord is online speak for someone who likes to espouse edgy, nihilistic views. Thank you, thank you. Asked about the inscription on the bullet, the friend said, Josh was an edgelord who wanted to get somebody to get blamed. I think he tried his best to write something goofy to rile people up. Oh. Another friend showed me a Facebook post describing how John had flooded his friends' comment sections with rape jokes. Playful shock humor, the friend said. Oh my god. John's profile on the gaming platform Steam showed the vast amount of time he spent playing video games, particularly shooters. More than 6,000 hours on Rust. If you have that many hours on Rust, I think you should be locked up preemptively. You're already a danger to society. Of course it's Rust. 3,000 on TF2, you get a pass. 1,000 on Left 4 Dead 2. Damn, he's really into the... Whew. At least Hitlerite Rust player. At least dangerous to themselves and others Rust player. Jesus Christ. 6,800 hours on record and only 51 achievements. Some people, they really do play for the love of the game. Is Rust fun? No. Among the dozen or so usernames he used was one reading #impeachment. When I asked if this wasn't a clear reference to anti-Trump politics, his friends recoiled at the idea he would express opposition to Trump so sincerely and straightforwardly. Instead, they saw it as part of his broader ironic persona, poking fun at anti-Trump resistance types. These people are like the end of civilization, man. There are so many people out there who believe absolutely nothing and will just casually throw their life away in a way that's just baffling to everyone else. My read on this is that he just wanted to kill people. He wasn't even like racist against the detainees who were being brought in the van. He just wanted to kill people and then himself, and that's it. Just a last thrill, then he dies. He was a fan of Ron Paul, never into politics, especially not politicians. He was into politics only in the 4chan sense, contrarian, provocative, boundary pushing for laughs, not conviction. I gotta say, his former friends are doing a really good job here of describing him without using any of the negative versions of the terms that seem to apply here. Like, they're not going with insufferable or unlikable or unlovable, you know, which you'd think all of these would apply, just judging from the read we're getting on this guy. Incel, but, you know, speak not ill of the dead, I suppose. Oh, wait, hold on. 4chan, the anonymous message board where provocation and irony are the coin of the realm. thank you, Ken, was apparently one of John's favorite haunts. His abrasive humor is where his friends' opinions of him diverge the most, with some describing it as amusing but others as grating, especially his online persona as it bled into real life. I mostly stopped talking to him when he took his 4chan/irony stuff into daily interactions, one friend told me. He was becoming unbearable. Once he dropped out of college, he had no obligation to be social, and none of us reached out due to his edgelord behavior. Every mutual friend drifted away over that kind of edgelord behavior. The following audio recording of John bombing at stand-up comedy was shared with me. Oh, no. It drew a comparison by one friend to the 2019 Joker film starring Joaquin Phoenix as an off-putting loner who tried and failed at comedy. Oh, no. I have to hear. I have to know.
Hey guys, my second time doing stand-up. I was at the Dallas Comedy Club last time. Alright, so I'm going to start out with talking about something pretty serious. My buddy was talking to me the other day about reality TV, and he didn't like it too much. He said reality TV should never be played on TV. I have some extremely bad insecurity issues about myself. They constantly eat me up alive. And reality TV is a remedy for that. That's a perfect remedy. And it applies to me, so instead of going down that old muddy road, I just go towards MTV. Cheers up my day. It's great. You guys should all watch MTV. I like Kim Kardashian and Girl Code and Guy Code. They're great advice shows. I heard you guys, someone say something about Tinder, but I did some research on that, and apparently it's a matchmaking website, and for those who don't know, it's if you don't know how to start a fire, just go to choose Tinder. There's this guy named
Oh. It hurts. It hurts me too. I'm not immune to this at all. I'm pretty susceptible to it, to be honest with you. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. In this sense, the joke is on him and all of us too. I don't know why a person with, like, social anxiety would try for that. Oh, come on, Vosh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, except, like, in the context of this guy would later do a mass shooting and then shoot himself. The era of deeply embarrassing mass murderers. Mass murderers have always been deeply embarrassing. Like, have you ever read up on, oh my god, I'm blanking his name, the guy who killed JFK. What, I think, not Orson Welles. Lee Harvey Oswald. Thank you, Jesus. It's not Orson Welles. Oswald was also like a huge cringe lord. They're always like that, man. You know. Read Eric Harris's writings. He was an incredible cringe lord. Yeah, the fucking Columbine boys. It's always like that, man. Like, the things, there's a reason why, like, cringe and shame and embarrassment are emotions you guys have, and they're biological responses that we have to asocial behavior. Like, they exist to help us, fairly or unfairly, read from other people an inability to understand social cues because it's like a threat sign to us. Then there's a reason why, like, so often these mass murderers are super duper embarrassing, and it's because, like, you know, they're the kinds of people who are socially maladjusted enough that they would then go on to do that, you know? It could be seen as a form of empathy. It is. It 100% is. Yeah, absolutely. No. At any rate, this isn't stopping Fox News and the like, of course, from, you know, nonstop accusing him of being a super-duper ultra-leftist assassin sent by Biden to take out ICE officers. But you already knew that. I've said this before, but, like, this is going to keep happening over and over again. There are already so many shootings in this country, just by default, a very, very high level of just ambient violence, and they're going to use everything they can. They fake this bullets. I'm sure that right now, and in fact, I bet you, hold on one second. If I go up Fox News, ICE shooting, give me some information. What else are we talking about? Did he once, like, get served ice cream from a trans cashier at, like, a gelato shop? What's the deets? Ah, here we go. The 29-year-old man who opened fire on a Dallas ICE facility left behind handwritten notes at his home in Oklahoma that shared a motive for his attack: to terrorize ICE employees. Show it to me. I want to see it. To include John's own words in his handwritten notes, he wanted to kill ICE agents. He fired at transport vehicles carrying ICE personnel, federal agents, and detainees. He did a great job of it. His notes reveal, yes, it was just me and my brain. Good luck with that digital footprint. Yeah, we'll see. You cannot trust anything that comes out of the FBI right now? God, no. Fuck no. God, no. My default assumption is that the FBI is lying anytime they say something politically convenient to them. I don't think there's any reason to engage with it at all. Like, how long ago did you guys stop double checking every time Trump said something? Every time Trump says he stopped like 7 wars, you know, do you go like, oh shit, is that true? You go and look it up. You can't trust these people for anything. Completely uncredible. It's just going to keep happening over and over and over and over again. I'm sure eventually they'll find a connection to trans people. You know, we'll see how far they go with that. What if he's right, though? It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, when it comes to stuff like this, these are not trials, right? The perpetrator is dead in this case. So you are not going to... you're not going to get like a defense attorney pouring through information. You're not going to get discovery. The only information you're getting, the only information that's being provided to you is by the state, right? The police, the FBI, and they can, and they do lie about anything. So if they're not a credible organization, I think that you, and this is both moral and reasonable, can just discredit anything they say that you don't like. Engage with it as rhetoric, not as reality. If it's real or not, well, unfortunately, we have no way to check. We have no way of knowing. We do know, however, that they lie nonstop. So if they might incidentally say stuff that's true, we have no way of double checking it. Fox will hear he used 4chan, go on at see transport immediately and say he was radicalized by trans degenerates. Not wrong. Frequent user of 4chan, a popular board on 4chan /LGBT, or as it's known sometimes, /TTTT, so named for the prominence of transgender users on the board. And then a bunch of like screenshots of the most unhinged shit posted there, which in fairness is pretty unhinged. Why was it David Lynch saying it? I was just trying to do like a newsman voice, you know? I'm not ready for mainstream AGP discourse. Doug, J.D. Vance brought that up. J.D. Vance literally mentioned like AGP discourse at some point during was it after the election or sometime before it? What's AGP? You don't worry about it. It was on his Rogan interview. That's really funny. We'll tell you when you're older.